Hello and welcome to Bell Curve Gaming, and today we've got a deck that's so annoying that if you're using this deck, it nearly makes you a bad human being. So what makes me a bad human being? Well, that would be Xurkitree. He's got an attack for 1 lightning energy, Dazzle Blast, 20 base damage, but it leaves your opponent's Pokemon confused, and confusion is fun because we have Parasect. Panic Spore's ability, put 2 damage counters on our opponent's confused Pokemon between turns, and yes, this stacks. 2 Parasects, that's 4 damage counters between turns. 3 Parasects, that's 6 damage counters between turns, and this is starting to get crazy nuts good, plus it's putting a lot of pressure on your opponent to get that Pokemon out of the active, otherwise they have to coin flip to be able to attack. And you flip a tails like I did when I came across this nasty little combination running my Incineroar deck, you're in for a bad day. That Incineroar deck may or may not have been out yet. It's coming if I haven't released it yet. I don't know which order I'm going to release these videos in. So, what else have we got in this little combination? Well, I didn't really take note of my opponent's list. I just seen the combination. I kind of built it up myself. So, Xurkitree, he's a lightning Pokemon. A lightning Pokemon are good, and he's an Ultra Beast. So this is really fun because we have Electro powers here, which allow us to charge our Pokemon's attack by 30 for the Xurkitree. We have Beast Energy here, which is fun because attach them to the Xurkitree, that charges attack up an extra 30 as well. And we have access to Thunder Mountain, reducing our attack's cost by 1 lightning energy, so that's really nice as well. We also have Spinda here, because Spinda, he allows us to confuse our Pokemon as well for 1 colorless energy and attacks for 30. Unfortunately, he doesn't get access to the other fun toys that our Xurkitree does, but he's really handy as well. And playing around with this deck for a while, I realized that this isn't sufficient number of attackers, so I'm not really running a rescue stretcher here, but I am running a Tapu Koko-GX because he's here for the late game. He can come in, swing in, get all these energies onto him, and then use his Tapu Thunder GX and take down a big hefty Pokemon. Plus, in the right situation, Sky High Claws is kind of fun and kind of nice to use as well. So that's really good. Plus, we're not needing to run too many energies because we've got the Tapu Koko Prism Star that we can recover a couple of energies from the discard pile. So that's the deck list, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed playing with this, which, does that make me a bad human being? I think it does. Hello, Rabombeast, and welcome. You're the easier one to retreat out, and then I can use that later. So yeah, we'll go with Tapu Koko down. We're going to go Oranguru down. I kind of want to retreat out into an attacker. That's what I'm feeling here. Are we in some kind of mirror match? We could be in some kind of mirror match. Although it's grass with the shrine. Yeah, I'm thinking we're in not the same mirror match because it's grass. So I'm thinking this is about Spinda with the Parasects. Yeah. So now what I've really got to decide here is, who do I actually put up front? I kind of want to save the Tapu Koko, but knowing that whoever I put up front is probably going down. Or do I just accept the Tapu Koko goes down? Going second in this is going to be a nuisance. I do have switch cards, so that could save me. I think that's what we play at. Let's go and get ourselves a... I've got 2 switch cards in here. I've got to hope for some kind of switch. I think that's what we're playing for. So we're going to go Lightning Energy onto the Xurkitree. We're going to go a Choice Band onto the Xurkitree. We're going a Lily here. Didn't get a switch card, so I'm not going to be able to attack this particular turn, but we shall nest ball ourselves into a Paras. And do I want to try and guarantee 2 Parases next turn? I don't think so. We might go a second Xurkitree down. And for the moment, we're done. So, this Spinda, it'll hit for 30. If he gets both Parases, that's 70, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, because the Tapu Koko can last that. And then I can use a manual retreat with the NG onto the Tapu Koko, get into my Xurkitree, which I'm not going to be putting as many damage counters onto the Spinda, unless I get myself into Electro Powers, that is. Which could happen. It could happen. So my shrines are going to be useless as in this matchup. So like I said, you can last that, so that's okay. Electro Powers would be really nice now. So we're going to go Lightning Energy onto the Tapu Koko. We're going to go Parasect down. I don't think I want a third Xurkitree down at this stage. So we're going to Cynthia, hoping to get myself into some Electro Power action. Which I don't. We're going to here manually retreat into the Xurkitree. I think that manual switch might be useful for later. Like this switch card. Although I've got Guzma as well. Kind of want to get maximum value of the Tapu Koko, so I'm thinking we'll just Dazzle Blast here and just leave it at that. So confuse the Spinda. Like I said, unfortunately I didn't get into my Electro Powers here. But at least it puts a little bit more pressure on Spinda's Teeter Punch attack on the next one. And this could be a game of coin flips. Which is the reason why the switch card's really important to me. Because I can play around it on the next turn quite nicely. And just switch into the Xurkitree and attack him with the Xurkitree on the back line. And get rid of the Spinda that way. Although I don't even actually have to attack. I don't actually have to attack here, which is fine. Although no, I do need to get out of it though. That is absolutely for certain. I do need to get out of this. So we're going to switch like this. Although I should have probably just manually retreated then, because then I could have got rid of the Tapu Koko off the field as well. We'll Dazzle Blast, just because we can. And we'll get our prize card. So a Parasect will be on its way. We now use our Paras onto the field. So getting the first prize card is huge in this matchup. Especially if we're going to be trading 1-for-1 a lot. And I have a feeling my opponent has ran away, pulled. Seems to happen a lot with this deck. That the opponent just sort of runs away and doesn't play anymore. Nope, he's still here. Okay. Spinda's coming again. So we could Guzma to that Spinda now. If we wanted. Which might be the play. But I'm thinking that we just store that sort of stuff. So I'm thinking it's better putting a Paras down right now. I don't think we Guzma to the Spinda. Or do I? Well, he's got to get himself out of the active at the moment. Guzmaing to the Spinda allows me to confuse it. And while it's confused, that's a really good thing. So yeah, we will. We will Guzma. So Guzma to the Spinda. Bring the Xurkitree down. We'll chuck a Lightning Energy onto the Oranguru at this stage. And we're pretty happy here. Just to... I'm actually thinking I want to manually retreat. Just because I don't want this Xurkitree to go down on this particular play. And that way it allows me to use Dance of the Ancients. We'll bring you two. Have a Lightning Energy, have a Lightning Energy. So we're happy with that. Gives myself more room for later. Do I want to go with the straight KO straight away here? I'm thinking possibly. Yeah, that's what I'm wanting to do. So we will now grab this Lightning Energy, this Lightning Energy, this Lightning Energy, and we're done. And we'll now start hitting with the Tapu Koko. Keep in mind that that shrine's going to hurt over time. But, in fact, that might not have been the play that I should have done. But it does allow me to get one-shots quite easily here for a little while. And the Parasect has to come out here. So if it can get me, what's this Tapu Koko got to get me? At least 2 prizes to break even. A third, well that's just a bonus. And that's 2 Spindas down as well, which is good. So like I said, a third is a bonus here. So Paras is down as well. Guessing this is going to get himself a Spinda. Just so he's got an attacker on the next turn. Nope, Oranguru needs draw. Fair enough. Then Choice Band onto the Paras just to maximise draw. And there's the Spinda. So an ideal play would be pulling a Guzma so I can go after the Spinda again. Just get rid of another attacker. That'd be the ideal. Don't get that top deck, so that's fine. We'll go Lightning Energy onto the Xurkitree at this stage. We shall... just straight Cynthia. And we now will get rid of Paras and Oranguru. And go and get ourselves another Parasect. So we've got that up now. And I'm thinking that we need to oust that shrine just to save my Tapu Koko a little bit. And we'll get an extra pull with the Oranguru. And we've got an Espel, which isn't useful at the moment. But we'll Sky High Claws. Get rid of this Parasect. Get myself another prize card. So we're now at the at even stage. Now he has to have an energy to be able to attack this Spinda this turn. And if he does, I'm thinking I'm nearly at a retreat out of here. Rather than risking coin flips. Because if I go down on the turn going back to him, that's really bad for me. So yeah, it's definitely a retreat out of here rather than risking coin flips. And I'll have the KO anyway because I got the Professor Kukui. So that's definitely how we're playing it now. So we're going a manual retreat out of here, I think. We will get rid of the Shrine and the Nest Ball. We don't want anything out of that pool. We're just doing that to get myself a pull with the Oranguru. Got another Lightning Energy that we can use. I think we've got to be careful who we're putting the Lightning Energies on from now on. So we'll Professor Kukui. Searching for that switch if I can. Don't find it. We're going to manual retreat. We're going to go to this Xurkitree just in here at the moment because you don't have an attacker set. So that's 40 with the That's 80, yeah, that's enough. So we'll just Dazzle Blast now. And that's this Spinda gone. And now it's going to put a lot of pressure on him on how he's getting another attacker up this turn. Because if he fails to do that, I hit for 50. I'm another Electro Power away from hitting from the numbers that I desperately need. But yeah, I think he ran out of resources, ran out of attackers there. So able to play around it quite nicely there. Hello, Sir 2 Raw, and you just let me go first. I have a bad feeling about that. Why are you letting me go first? Is it a Pikarom deck? Not Pikarom deck, a Zapdos deck. Definitely a Lightning deck. I'm going to assume it's Zapdos. Which means... I mean, turn 1 KO with Zapdos with a Xurkitree is a little bit awkward. So I've got a second Xurkitree down. I think all these nest balls are simply for Parases. I think that's pretty simply said. So 3 nest balls, go and get ourselves 3 Parases. I do have both Tapu Kokos here to play with later on, which is good. So we'll just go and get ourselves set up with some Parases. Kind of want to keep this hand because I like it. Like having the Ultra Ball here to guarantee a Parasect and things like that. But I'd also need NGs, so we're going to Cynthia because I need something else. So what we've got here is we've got a switch in hand, which is useful. So what I'm thinking is we actually go the NG to the back line just because I don't... Gotta think about this. Do I want Oranguru? I think Oranguru down is probably the more important here. Most important. Maybe we'll make that decision on the next turn. See if he judges me. Which, this deck I don't think runs a huge amount of judge usually. It could, but yeah, who knows. So, dead hand to begin with, but does have the Jirachi up front, which is really good. And he's able to attack him with the Zapdos turn 1, which is really good as well. So, the upside is I can confuse that Zapdos. I am assuming it's a Zapdos. No, Pikarom. Okay, so is this a Turbo Pikarom? Is that what you're going for? Trying to turbo this Pikarom straight away. Gonna escape rope? No, I doubt it. I doubt you'd be escape roping here. Yeah, not escape roping, because that'd be a bit silly bringing up the Pikarom straight away. Tapu Koko in hand. Look, I'd like to think it'd be good, but I don't think it's going to be good right now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go Parasect down. We are going to Oranguru down. We are going to switch here to the Xurkitree. We're going to Electro Power down. I'm just going to pull the Oranguru because I am completely bricked at the moment. Do have another Electro Power, which I'm hitting for 50 right now, plus the Parasect will get the KO in between turns, so we'll just Dazzle Blast. We don't need to go anything more than that. There we go, get ourselves our first prize card, bring the Pikarom up front, which just makes things a little bit more awkward for him. I mean, he could have the Thunder Mountain and get off a full blitz on the next turn, but then I can also confuse him on the next turn, which is really good. So yeah, so a little bit bricked, my opponent there, so probably not the start he was hoping for. Does he have the Thunder Mountain? The Absol's here to make retreating a little bit more awkward for me. The manual retreat at least. But I do have a completely dead hand. Do you need a draw supporter in the top deck? Or at least a lightning energy so I can continue attacking later. But at least I do get the confusion and start getting some damage onto this Pikarom. Wouldn't mind a shrine as well. Gonna escape rope me. So that... okay, so that's not good for me. We're going to chuck the Xurkitree down. That's clutch for him, getting the escape rope like that, because, like I said, I'm completely bricked and I don't have an NG. I need a draw support desperately. That's what I'm wanting, and at worst, an NG card. Because this stalls the game quite nicely for him. So like I said, at worst, an energy card for me is what I'm looking for. Just so I can continue attacking here. And I can't even thin the hand right now to get another pull with the Oranguru. So, yeah, we're kind of bricked. I'm just waiting for my opponent to pass it over. There we go. So we are bricked. We can go a second Parasect down, but that's all I can do at this stage. So we'll just pass it back to my opponent and see what he's got for us. That's at least more damage for us as we go in search for an NG or a way to get into one. So an Ultra Ball would be good because then I can get rid of some Pokemon cards that I don't really want right now. Keep in mind, I don't have Rescue Stretcher in this deck, so I've got to be careful about throwing away attackers. I'm wondering if my opponent's still here, because he hasn't done anything for quite some time. I mean, he's stalled the game nicely. Yeah, I don't reckon he's still here. So we now have our way into a Xurkitree. Do I Electro Power here? I mean, that's 50, 6, 70, 80, 90, 40, 80, 100. That doesn't need an Electro Power, and it gets me the turn, the KO on the turn back if he doesn't get the Absol. So that's how we play it. Like I said, I don't think he's here still. I think this is about to be just a win to me. These Xurkitree decks do like to pick on Pikarom quite nicely, which is good. Nope, he is still here. Alright. So we are still ready to roll. And if he doesn't get this Absol out of the active here, it KOs on the turn back to me, which gets me another prize card. A Shrine, which is good. Electro Power, Shrine, so now I can really pick on the Pikarom, which is, this is brilliant now. So draw support to boot. So we are really up and rolling now. So we'll Cynthia here. And we can Electro Power again. We can go another Lightning Energy down, which I'll go to the Oranguru for the moment because that'll be useful for later. I'm just going to get Electro Power because I like the Electro Power here. So we'll now go with a Dazzle Blast. Look at that pain. Look at that pain. On the Pikarom. The Shrine to boot as well. And to attack here, he's going to have to attack through Confusion unless he can somehow get rid of that. He's got the Tapu Koko. So I'll certainly deal with this Xurkitree. That's another tasty GX Pokemon for me to hit into. Going to Electro Power. I'm not exactly sure why. Oh, to maximize the pull, so he doesn't have the NG card in hand just yet. Alright, there's the other NG. But that Pikarom's just going to Shrine quite nicely in the background, which I like. And right here, where Xurkitree is definitely going up front, that's for sure. Although maybe I should have actually chucked the Oranguru up front so I could thin the hand a little bit more. Although the Ultra Ball does that for me quite nicely here. Thinking we go Xurkitree down and then we Ultra... So, Xurkitree down, we Ultra Ball the Switch and the Nest Ball. As I kind of want to keep the Shrine. So Ultra Ball the Switch and the Nest Ball, just in case he's got a way out of that Shrine at some stage. We'll go and get ourselves our third Parasect down. And now we're going to get the pull from the Oranguru. Beast Energy to boot, so we'll start charging up the Xurkitree with just the Lightning Energy to begin with. And we'll Dazzle Blast. Lay the pain into this Tapu Koko now. Ouch. Ouch. 100 damage. Trip Parasect up. There's the Zapdos, which I thought was coming way, way earlier. Let's go to Cynthia. As I said, the Shrine's just sitting here just in case he ousts the Shrine, because I like the Shrine. Yep, so he's ousted the Shrine. So the Shrine will be coming straight back for you. And just in time as well, because if he doesn't get the Tapu Koko out of here, that would have been a KO, because the Parasects would have been 60, then the Shrine 70. So yeah, just in time for my opponent. Oh, okay, well I'm going to take the KO here anyways. That's really good for me. So there's another 2 prize cards. Just 2 prize cards to go here. As I said, this deck really likes picking on the Pikarom builds. Just loves to feast on Pikarom. So right here, all we're going to do is shrine this. I've got a shrine in hand I don't want to get rid of, so I'm just going to Erika's. It's not as big a pool, but I'm pretty happy with the cards that we've got. So we will chuck. No, we'll hold the choice band. Yeah. It loves feasting on Pikarom. It loves feasting on Pikarom. Yeah, not a good matchup for you. Hello, Shin 01024. Welcome. Xurkitree definitely up front. We are definitely going to put an Oranguru down as well for draw. We have draw support options in this early stage. Eevee and Snorlax deck. So Paras down is really good. I'm thinking that we Lily in this play. Yeah, we're going to Lily for 4. Because I like keeping the remaining draw supporters here, which is good for me. We are definitely going to chuck a Shrine out there in the early game here. And I am feeling like maybe waiting... No, he hasn't got the KO this turn, I don't reckon. And hopefully that Beast Energy stays, which is good for me. I'm thinking that what we do here is we actually Ultra Ball the Erika Hospitalities away and get ourselves another Paras. That's how we play this. So we've got 2 Parases down and I'm pretty happy with the setup. That's a really good starting hand. We're already starting to chip our way into the Eevee and Snorlax. So he's got the Shrine out of here. It's good for him. Brooklet Hill. So water or fighting? Water. Weeper. Okay, Quagsire build. Build analysis. Probably on the draw that you want. Draw supporter that you want on the turn 1, I wouldn't have thought. Having a big fat Eevee and Snorlax in the active I do like though. Love the artwork of that, by the way. It's nice artwork. The promo tin version there. So we do have a sneaky 50 attack, 80 attack with 20 with the Parasect as well, so that's really nice. So what we're going to do here is we're going to Electro Power and we're going to Oranguru pull. Just see what I've got, see if it's a playable card. Here's a Lightning Energy, which could be useful. I'm going to chuck it down in the Oranguru just for later. And we'll Cynthia, because we got Tapu Kokos later. Hopefully find a Stadium, which is beautiful. I do, right there. Like I said, I've got the Tapu Koko for later. We've got a Spinda, which is really good to put down. So I've got an attacker on the next turn if he is able to oust me. We'll go Dazzle Blast, and this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. 120 damage already onto that Eevee and Snorlax, so... I mean, he could be running Ace Roller or Max Potions here, which would be good. The Articuno's finally here, so I'm assuming that's supposed to be walling up this Eevee and Snorlax. I'm assuming there'll be Max Potions. You'd be smart to run Max Potions here if you're trying to wall up with Articuno. And protect it. So we'll see what's coming. Lady is the supporter. You might not have a way to protect this Eevee and Snorlax, which would be huge. Hugely bad for you. I don't reckon you do. So that's another 20 on the way back to me. Another 50 with my attack at least. Starting to think, well, starting to wish that I put the Lightning Energy onto the Xurkitree instead. Second Articuno here. I mean, what we could do... No, I don't want to chuck Tapu Koko in there because the shrine is working nicely for me. So we're in Nest Ball. Go and get ourselves another Paras because I'm feeling like that's a really good idea. Do we want to hit for 30 instead? No, because I'm hitting for 50 at the moment. What am I thinking? I don't want to switch. We'll just Cynthia. And we do have an Electro Power and a Choice Band. So we got to think about this. 20, that's 50 at the moment. So that's 220. I'm going to need... So it's 220. I don't need both. I'm going to need both. So Choice Band, Electro Power, and let's get rid of this Eevee and Snorlax. Ouch. Sucks to be you. 3 prize cards. And I'm assuming the Eevee and Snorlax is not what this deck really wanted to start up front. That I am going to assume. So here's probably what you wanted. You're going to Guzma up. Who are you going to bring up? The Spinda. That's interesting. Because you still can't get the KO on the Spinda. Thought you might have been trying to lock me away or something. And I'm actually considering the whole... Oh, I don't have the Switch in hand anymore. Yeah. I think you realised that Eevee and Snorlax up front was absolutely killer. Absolutely killer for him. Hello, Norway Bob. Welcome. Paras up front. Got switches, that's okay. Tate Liza's probably the draw here that I'm going for. Rather than Professor Kukui. I'm feeling Marshadow up front, so doesn't get any value out of that. Really depends what I top deck. So a fire deck of some description, or at least a deck that likes fire energies. Blacephalon. So this guy can confuse as well. This could be a very confusing match. Anyway, that's a really bad pun. So he's got the retreat on the Marshadow at some stage when he needs it. What am I doing here? Oh, he's going to let loose me anyway. Double Marshadow down. Alright, so let's not worry about what I'm doing. Let's worry about it after this. Risky play, I mean, you're not really set at the moment. You could brick yourself up. And I've got the best draw supporter to have turn 1. You didn't brick yourself up, you've got your Poipoles, that's okay, but I've got a shrine to start chipping away at those Blacephalons. And I can take advantage of the Ultra Space as well. I can go and get myself a Xurkitree. It's very nice indeed, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go and get ourselves a Xurkitree. So there's an attacker. We'll go a second Paras down. We'll go a Xurkitree down. We don't want the Tapu Koko down just yet, but you do want a shrine. My opponent does, that is. And now we'll Lily. Go and get ourselves some more cards. And right here, I'm feeling that we're just nest balling down for another Paras. I like having lots of Parases on the field. And I think we Lightning Energy to the Xurkitree. And for the moment, we're done. Let that shrine just burn this Blacephalon back there a little bit. Got the Naganadel up. So the upside is I can make him work for every prize card. And it'll be interesting to see how many stadiums you're playing. Because I'm playing 4. That's a high stadium count. So the stadium battle should be pretty well in my favour. So you're going to get the Xurkitree up front. I'm probably trying to confuse it before. I doubt you'd be going with Burst GX here. Yeah. So you're going to go with the confused play before. Which, you know, I can appreciate. I can appreciate that. Got rid of the burn at least. So, do we want another Paras down? Yes. The answer to that is yes. Yes, we do. We're going to Ultra Ball away here the Lily and the Cynthia. And I'm thinking we're going to Erika's for 4 for the moment rather than Cynthia. Just so it's a little bit of a safer play. I might have to take my chance with a Heads here. That just might be what I'm doing. So we're going to Erika's for 4, just so I've got the Draw Sporter sitting in hand as well. We can actually attack with Spinda instead, which I'm liking a little bit more. I mean, it's a waste of a Beast Energy, but it guarantees me an attack here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to retreat out and bring the Spinda in, and we will Tate Punch. Just to confuse my opponent and start letting the Shrine, the Parasect, work that Blacephalon down for me. So now if he wants to attack, he is very likely going to have to flip a coin, which I like. I like very much. I like it when our opponent has to flip a coin. And we've got the KO here. We don't want to Guzma right now. We're just going to Erika's again because I like having the cards that I've got. Got Lightning Energies, which is really good. Got a second Parasect, which is fantastic. Don't even have to attack. But, you know, we will. And we're going to Tate Punch. And that's the first Blacephalon down. Wow. Overkill. And 2 prize cards. Oranguru, Choice Band. Choice Band could be useful if another Blacephalon shows itself at some stage. Did you have no Fire Energies in the discard? Yeah. So I reckon the Marshadow play actually bricked you. Worse than it bricked me. Did you just throw away a Beast Ring? You are desperate. Yeah, you've completely bricked. So the Marshadow worked against you. That's funny. Now, can I get 4 Parasects up front? I don't even know if I've got 4 Parasects in deck. I haven't seen the prize cards. They're going to be pretty funny if I could get 4 Parasects. I mean, that would be 80 damage between turns. Alright, so we need to oust that Heat Factory. So it's probably a Thunder Mountain to begin with. And then we've got Shrines to come back with later. So what am I doing here? I'm probably Guzmaing up that Tapu Lele, to be honest. Unless he brings a Blacephalon in, then I'm Guzmaing up the Blacephalon. Bring a Blacephalon in. I like Blacephalon. Yeah, so I'm thinking it's probably the Tapu Lele at this stage, unless you bring a Blacephalon. I mean, how much damage can I lay on to that Tapu Lele? I mean, I could potentially... gotta think about it. Get rid of that message. So it's heading for 50, which is 79, yeah. Maybe the Tapu Lele bringing that up this early isn't the way. Maybe I need some Shrine to chip away at it first. So maybe we just go after these Nagata Delves. Because that's his consistency engine. And that might be the way to play it. And just Cynthia for a fresh hand. If he brings a Blacephalon down, then we're going after the Blacephalon. Just because... like, it might take me 2 Guzmas to get that Tapu Lele if I go after it straight away. Depending how many Fire Energies he has in hand. So we're definitely ousting the stadium because I don't get any value out of that stadium. We're going to Choice Band to the Xurkitree here. And... I mean, it hits for 130. It does hit for 130. Onto that Tapu Lele. which means Shrine doesn't take long to get the rest of that down. How much does just hitting without it? It's 20, 40, plus the 50 is 90. And then he has to get rid of it. We're going to go the second energy route. That's how I've decided we're going to play this. So we're going to Guzma up the Tapu Lele. We're going to go the Xurkitree. And the Xurkitree is going to go with the Cablegram here. Get the 130 damage down. Knowing that it's, you know, a couple of turns of Shrine. Of him not being able to oust a Shrine. And that's, you know, that's another 2 prize cards potentially. He still has his Beast Ring turn here. Which might have been something I should have considered. But could have I got a KO on someone else? Yeah, the Mars Shadows actually. So he's going to NG switch to get the Tapu Lele out. No. Okay. He's got a Lily. So I'm assuming he's hoping just to draw into an NG. To get that Tapu Lele out of there. I mean, if he doesn't, that's 2 prize cards and I'm really good. To roll. Got a couple of NGs in the discard already to pull back. Yep, so he's going to go the manual retreat route. I would have pulled in an NG first, so you get turning point. Oh yeah, you can do that from the active. What am I thinking? Blonde moment. Blonde moment. So you've got the turning point. That's 80 onto the Xurkitree. I've still got another attack, which is nice. You can retreat quite nicely out of these Naganadels. So maybe he's actually trying to use a Naganadel based attacking deck from now on, rather than Blacephalon. That might be what he's trying to do, which is okay by me. I don't know why I put it onto the Paras and not the Parasect. But anyway, well, Cynthia, we'll get a fresh hand and see where we're at after that. So 80 damage is enough to take the Spinda out, so the switch is kind of useless to me. I was hoping for the Shrine, didn't get it. The 100 damage just isn't enough. And 20, 40, 60... it's going to be enough in the longer term, so... 70, 80, 90... 110, yeah, 130. So we'll go with the Dazzle Blast just to force him to retreat. Kind of wish I found my way into my other Parasects, but that's not to be. This Xurkitree goes down. I want other Xurkitrees to attack from here on out. So what's happening here is he takes out the Xurkitree. I'm assuming anyway. I put another Xurkitree down. I attach an energy to the Xurkitree. And I may actually switch to the Xurkitree. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do here. So I may actually do the Switchblade of the Xurkitree. So there's the turning point to get the KO. So we'll go Spinda down. The reason being is he doesn't really have the KO, although I could Guzma up the Tapu Lele right now instead. Which could also be a good play. While I've got the Guzma in hand. How many Guzmas do I have left in deck? So one. I still have another one after this. So let's take the Tapu Lele while I can. So I can guarantee this KO. And we're going to just attack in here with the Xurkitree. And that's another 2 prize cards. And at least I'm out of Beast Rings as well. And just 2 prize cards away from getting the game. So The idea is Tapu Koko-GX can come in and sweep these Naganadels to finish as well. So long as I've got enough energies. And Tapu Koko Prism Star might help with that, so... I'm pretty sure I'm going to use the Tapu Koko Prism Star next. Yeah, we are. And we're just going to chuck, you know, the energies onto the 2 Parasects probably. And I kind of want to get into a Xurkitree to attack, or something to attack that's good here in the value, because he's going to be in Turning Point turn, the turn after the Spinda. So that could be double KOs. I'm assuming he's trying to get another Naganadel to try and deny me as well as he can. What I now need... Oh, that doesn't actually KO. Oh yeah, of course. That's the reason you're out there. That is the reason you're out there. What are we doing here? I think we just go Lightning Energy onto you. We're Cynthiaing because I need a fresh hand. See what that brings. Hopefully it's a shrine. It is a shrine, but that's not going to be much use to me anymore. We are going to Ultra Ball. We've got a Xurkitree in hand. What don't we want out of this? I get more... We're going to get rid of the Xurkitree. As much as I don't think we should. How many Xurkitrees do I have afterwards? Just the one. Get rid of the Cynthia. But then that's my only draw. Get rid of the Electro Power. I just feel like I need that Xurkitree for consistency. Like, no, consistency, another attacker. So we've got another Parasect down, which is really good. We're going to Parasect onto you. Probably should have done to you, but anyway. That isn't the point. We're going to Dazzle Blast. And just slowly get the damage up on you as well. So there's the Naganadel, and I'm assuming this one's what's coming next. As I said, it's just becoming a Naganadel attacking deck. It's all fine once you do get a KO if I can get myself into a Tapu Koko. Keep in mind, I want to be careful of that Turning Point turn. I do think we actually take a chance here. The deck's thin enough that I reckon I can get myself into another attacker by just straight Cynthiaing. I'm hoping I actually get myself into the Tapu Koko straight away. That's what I'm looking for, I think. So, we're going Spinda down. And I feel like with Cynthia, this is a big risk. But if it comes off... Okay, it didn't come off. It's unfortunate, but we'll go Xurkitree down. We'll start powering up the Xurkitree. Let's think about this now. Hitting for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110. Gets it close, doesn't get me there though. But it's also a, yeah, so this is what we're going to do. Because I just want to try and avoid that Turning Point turn on, like, if I can, for as long as I can. So close. If I had another Parasect down, that would have been perfect. But I don't. Now, if he has the Guzma, he'd be best off to go to the Spinda because then that's a one-shot. And then he's got the one-shot in the Xurkitree the turn after. So certainly getting those 2 GX Pokemon early is helping me here. And the fact that he's struggling, so Blacephalon is going to come down. So he's going to set that up. Now I've just got to be aware of that Blacephalon down now. Not going to go after the Blacephalon. Certainly more after these Naganadels. It's going to Guzma up. The Parasect. Now I wish I had a switch. I need top deck a switch of some kind. And I most certainly don't. We're going to Professor Kukui just to see. Just calm down, game. Just settle, please. And we'll just keep... Should I act like I'm powering up the Xurkitree? I act like... No, we'll just chuck it on the Parasect. Calm down, game. Seriously. Just spread the energies around. If you attack with the Blacephalon here, it actually works better for me. It works real nicely for me if you attack with Blacephalon. So if you attack with Blacephalon, it's game. If you don't attack with Blacephalon, I have a KO on a Naganadel. And I'm within one prize card. And I just hold on to the Tapu Koko. So you're going to burst GX. Got the Beast Renji. I have a feeling he knows that I'm waiting on the Tapu Koko-GX. So that's a good move. Once again, looking for a switch card. Switch or Guzma. Don't get it. So that's me bricked at the moment. As the shrine just keeps chipping away. And I doubt he's going to be attacking him with Blacephalon. Because I think he realises I'm waiting on a Tapu Koko here. Which means I've got a hold on the Tapu Koko as well. Which is fine because I've got a couple of attackers here which I can go in with. So that's good for me. And just get another prize card. It's going to Guzma up. Who's he going to go after now? The Xurkitree. So he's getting rid of one of my attackers. So Spinda goes up and he gets rid of the Naganadel. And then Tapu Koko is ready to sweep after. That's the play. So I think he was smart enough to realise that I'm probably sitting on the Tapu Koko to not leave Blacephalon out in the active. I'm not going to put a 2 prize card Pokemon out there for you. Not in this turn. So we're just going to Teeter Punch. We've got what we need with the Teeter Punch to get the KO on this Naganadel. Get the overkill on the Naganadel. And we've got the Guzma as well, so I'm in a really good spot now. Just 1 prize card left to go. Plenty of energies on the field. My Tapu Koko's GX attack. How much is it going to do? It's going to be nuts. 50, 100, 200, 300, 400 at the moment. It's going to use the Mind Blown to take out the Spinda, which doesn't surprise me really. Let's be honest. But I've got what I need. So Paras, you're up front. And we now Electro Power. We Tapu Koko. Pull in the NG. Pull in the NG. Pull in the NG. And that is game. So smart for my opponent, I reckon he knew that I was sitting on that Tapu Koko. But in the end, there was nothing he could really do to get around. Good game, good game. And it is time to rate this deck. So, starting with damage. Damage here is, a little bit awkward because, you're trying to get these Parasects up as quickly as possible, and you're not really dealing huge numbers necessarily with the Xurkitree. You're not dealing huge numbers consistently throughout the deck. It's about building up that damage between turns, and as long as you can do that, works really well. But I'm giving damage here a super annoying 6 out of 10. The defense side of things, well, the defense side of things has that one prize card trade going in its favor, assuming that you don't get the Tapu Koko out too early. And I like to sort of finish with him. I don't bring him out too early all that often if I can help it. But we're really looking at that one prize card trade, but we've got the added benefit that if our opponent can't get out of the active position, we've got a coin flip also protecting us, which, you know, if it's 50-50, every second turn, on theory, we should be saving ourselves and an attacker. So that's kind of nice as well. So that one prize card trade, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. Reliability, well, these are basic 1 NG attackers, super easy to get going. You know, both of them, the Spinda as well. Plus the Parasects, they're stage 1s and they're pretty easy to get up as well. So the reliability of this deck is pretty consistent and we're able to achieve what we want pretty well. So we're giving the reliability here a 9 out of 10. So overall, what do I think? This is a super annoying deck and super consistently annoying, and in the right matchup, particularly against Pikarom. This deck hates Pikarom, I can tell you that. But yeah, in the right matchup, this deck just powers through, and I'm giving it a solid 8 out of 10. A lot of fun, and if you enjoy this deck as much as I do, it probably makes you a bad human being, as am I.